C-U-R-I-E-U-X.
Wait. C-U-R-I-E-U-X.
I-E-U-X. Curieux. That's what I thought. Curieux. Curieux.
Curieux? Hold on.
That's a Spanish sweet treat. That's a churro. We're drinking Allagash churro.
Brewed by Taco Bell.
You have to say it all French.
Oui, oui. What is it?
Curieux.
Curieux.
Kind of like Curieux.
There's no way I'm saying that.
Curieux. Curieux.
Just record that.
Just put that
This is
together.
Allagash. Curieux.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, this is Allagash.
I think you should do it.
Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good! It's up!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this episode of The Beer Chasers. I'm Preston. We're joined again by Mike from At The Bar Podcast. Mike, how's it going?
Good, good.
So here we are for Allagash Part 3. So I've already done 2 Allagash tastings, and I saw that Mike had responded to some of our videos saying, hey, I would love to try Allagash. I've never had it. And I figured, hey, he was so nice. He gave us some really rare ciders, so I said, let's go ahead and hook him up. So here we are today.
Yeah, Allagash is one of those breweries that a lot of the craft beer drinkers really rave about, and all the books, craft beer books, really say Allagash is one of those breweries that you have to try. So this was a great opportunity for me to try Allagash for the first time.
Yeah, definitely. So the last 2 tastings you saw, outside of the Odyssey, we were kind of underwhelmed. So we're hoping today these 2 Allagashes will kind of bring the mark back up for the brewery. But hey, we'll see what happens. You ready to drink some beer?
Let's go.
Let's drink some beer. Allagash Dubbel Reserve boasts a dark malty taste with a dry finish that includes subtle hints of chocolate and nuts. With time, Allagash Dubbel Reserve will mature in the bottle and acquire distinctive port and sherry characteristics. It has an ABV of 7%. Beer Advocate rates it at 86. Rate Beer rates it at 94. Alright, so here is the Allagash Dubbel. So, very excited about this. I've already had the triple. I think we've had their quad, so might as well round it off with the Dubbel.
That's right.
So, appearance on the Dubbel. Looks good to me, man.
Here.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
It's kind of a lighter brown, and it gets really light around the edging,
Yeah.
but it's definitely cloudy.
Yeah, it's kind of got a little bit of a rubbiness to it, but yeah, definitely a darker brown. We have to note that I poured this into a Budweiser and a PBR chalice. Why you would ever want to drink those beers out of a chalice is beyond me, but
Listen, man.
I will enjoy the Dubbel out of it.
Goblet's a goblet.
Indeed. I was conflicted. I was like, do I really want to pour this awesome, amazing Belgian-style beer
Budweiser
into the Budweiser and Pabst chalice? But yeah, here we are. So appearance, what do you want to rate that?
4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'd say 4 out of 5. Looks pretty good. Could be a little more. Usually, you want a little more ruby kind of color to it.
Yeah.
So it's a little darker, but should be a little sweeter in the taste. So
Hopefully.
how about the smell?
As I just dip my nose in.
Definitely smell a little bit of the sweetness, a little bit of the tart.
Yeah, I smell a little sweetness, a little tartness, a little chocolate, just a little chocolate.
Not super pungent though. I like it a little more in your face, I think. But
Yeah, I mean it's kind of nothing's really, kicking you in the face here.
yeah,
It smells nice.
yeah, smells good. Smells like
Malty.
a Dubbel should for sure.
Yeah.
The best Dubbel, I don't think so.
Probably not. No.
I wanna rate
Smell probably a 4 out of 5 for me.
I'm gonna go with a 3. I think middle of the road. I think it's what it should smell like. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay.
So, favorite part? Just
Cheers.
taste it. Cheers. That was the wussiest tap ever.
Yeah. Sorry.
You get a lot of that sweet chocolate really right up front.
Yeah. It's really sweet, really light.
Yeah, I was gonna say really light.
Really light.
I don't want to say watered down, but very kind of.
Yeah. I've never had a Dubbel, never had an Allagash, so this is 2 things I've never had that I'm having right now. But I'm familiar with the Dubbel style.
Yeah.
And this is
a little light.
relatively lighter
Yeah.
than what Dubbel should be. But for being a first for me personally, I kind of like that. Kind of like it not being as heavy as most majority of the Dubels are. So my intro into the style is, with it being lighter,
Yeah.
it's more open and more inviting for me to maybe try another Dubel. And I just like saying the word Dubel.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely some sweet. You get a little bit of that tart, but kind of light, little lackluster.
You get a nuttiness to it, because I don't really. Maybe on the very back I get something, but not a friend. To the very end, you'll get like a quick slip of a nut, like. It's really fast.
Yeah, I really don't even get it. I mean, maybe if I search for it, I can kind of trick myself into saying it's there, but I would never say that. But we want to rate it.
Taste, I mean, probably a 3. It is lighter for the style. Still good. I mean, it's still drinkable, but it's not what it could be.
Yeah, I agree. 3. It's kind of what you expect from a Dubbel. Nothing great, not terrible, middle of the road.
Yeah.
So appearance.
Sorry,
mouthfeel. Sorry.
It's definitely malty. Kind of want to compare it to another malty beer, but I mean, it's kind of, to me, it's very similar to, mouthfeel-wise, to Maduro Brown from Cigar City.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely see that.
Well, not exact, but you kind of get like a slight velvety malt, malt base, obviously, but you kind of get the lightness. But still like a strong velvet brown finish.
It's got nice bubbles. It's definitely carbonated, so it definitely
it's carbonated really well. Yeah,
definitely tickles.
You have it shipped here.
Yeah, so it's nice in that aspect, but a little thin again for a Dubbel. It should be a double kind of Belgian ale. It should have a little bit of backbone to it. And for me, it's just a little.
I mean, it could be from shipping. It could be the guy you traded from.
I don't know though. With the carbonation, if it wasn't carb, we popped it and there's no carbonation. I could say that, but it's carb, so I think shipping was fine.
Okay. Totally noted.
So what do you want to rate?
Overall, are we doing the mouthfeel still?
Yeah.
3.5.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with a 3. I mean, again, it's not terrible, not great. Just kind of middle of the road for the style, which again, that leads us to overall.
Overall, this is a good beer. It's solid. Would I trade for it? Probably not. It is middle of the road. Nothing really pops. You don't get anything that makes you say, wow. So overall, probably 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go 3 out of 5 for the style. I mean, to say that's a 6 out of 10 beer when I would rate Budweiser at a 4 out of 10 would be like unfair. But that's an overall thing. For the style, when I rate kind of that 1 to 5, I'm looking more at the style itself. And I would say 3 out of 5 for style. It's just middle of the road. It's not gross. If you're a fan of Allagash, if you live there, if this is on tap somewhere at a bar, I would pick this
Drink
up over
local, all the way.
A million different beers. But would I get it shipped down again? Would I go beer chasing for it? Absolutely not.
No.
I'm going to finish it though for sure.
Oh yeah, we'll finish it. Don't worry about that.
So there you go. Allagash Dubbel.
Allagash Curieux is a bourbon barrel aged triple and is Allagash's first foray into barrel aged beers. It is made by aging triple ale in Jim Beam bourbon barrels for 8 weeks in a cold cellar. The aged beer is then blended back with a portion of fresh triple. It has an ABV of 11%. Beer Advocate rates it at 95. Rate Beer rates it at 99.
Alright, so coming up next is the Allagash Curieux. It's their triple that is aged in oak barrels.
It's aged in 8 weeks in Jim Beam bourbon barrels. And they come in this little fancy bomber here. It's 11%. So it's definitely kicking some pop.
Yeah, so we reviewed the triple back on Allagash 1 or 2, can't remember which one it was, and it wasn't favorable, so maybe the extra aging, maybe the bourbon's going to bring this one up a little bit. I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
So let's go with the appearance.
So
for a triple, nice golden.
Nice golden. It looks like a regular ale, honestly. It looks kind of like a wheat beer. I mean, we've been sitting here for a couple minutes. You still got a little bit of head retention. Yeah. It's cloudy, golden,
kind of a little orangish or amber.
A little orange, amber, a little bit of copper, kind of near the center, but it's definitely, the color is really nice.
Yeah, so we're going to rate that one.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll go with 4. 4 sounds good. But the smell.
Ooh.
Smell a little bit of the bourbon.
Yeah, bourbon, but I also get...
There's some of that triple, some of the...
I get vanilla.
Okay.
And it's really hard for me to smell vanilla on beer. But this, I can smell on this one.
I get that. There's a little bit of the coriander.
Yeah.
So it smells like a triple. You got a little bit of that bourbon.
Yeah, you can smell the bourbon, the vanilla, a little bit of coriander there, so it's definitely complex.
Okay, so you want to rate that one?
4 out of 5.
I will go 3.5. I like it to be a little more pungent.
Okay.
So I'm going to knock a little bit. It's a little better than normal, but not by much.
Okay.
So let's go and taste this bad boy. Cheers.
Whew. Boozy.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely boozy.
The Jim Beam really comes in towards the end, though. Like, as it's sitting now longer, for me, it's really kind of coming pungent.
Yeah, for me, I kind of taste more of the bourbon in the very beginning. That's I think where the booziness comes and hits you, and then mid palate, it kind of smooths. You kind of get the vanilla. Then afterwards, it's kind of a little bit bourbony. Just not as much as the beginning.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the bourbon, because I remember rating this kind of low last time, but for the triple style, it's a little lackluster as far as the triple goes. Like, you expect kind of big notes of coriander, some of that vanilla really coming out. Like, you can smell it, but I'm not really tasting much more than kind of the golden and some of the bourbon.
Yeah, it's really, for 11%, it's very boozy for me. I had the Kentucky Bourbon Stout from Goose Island, and that's 14.2%, and this is not too far behind on the booze level. Like, you're talking 3% less.
Yeah.
At 11.
I mean, you're getting up towards 11. It's very hard to hide it, but I think they could do a better job.
I mean, they're a craft beer. They only make so much of it. So what they need to make, I think, should be top notch, top tier.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like this kind of fell short.
Yeah, for sure. So on taste, how do you want to rate that?
I mean, I think a 3 is justice.
Yeah, I'd agree. 3. It's right in the middle of the road. It tastes pretty much like a triple should. It's missing some of the coriander. I probably should rate it a little lower, but again, it's still solid.
It's solid. It's boozy. If you like boozy beers, this is it. This is one of them.
So,
I mean, mouthfeel, which is next, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So mouthfeel, it's heavy, very heavy. For the color you're getting, I think it's a very heavy beer.
I think it's one of the redeeming factors for me at least. I think this is probably one of the highest ratings I'm going to give this. Is the mouthfeel. Yeah,
it's heavy, it's heavy, it's solid, and don't let the color deceive you just because of you think it's something else with it being a lighter beer. This can get you. Mouthfeel for me, it's probably a 3.5 out. 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4. It's very very bubbly, very crisp. It's kind of medium body, kind of right where you want a triple to be. It's not super thick like a stout, but it's not watery like some of the.
But it is kind of heavy though.
Yeah. I'd call it medium. I've had some stouts that I would call heavy, so this to me is kind of middle of the road. So I'm going to give this a 4 on the mouthfeel. Okay. A little above average, but again, pretty good.
Yeah.
So overall, how do you feel about this?
3 out of 5. I was kind of expecting something really nice, and I was kind of let down. Yeah.
So I'll have to mirror that and say 3 out of 5 as well. I think middle of the road, nothing terrible. It's not a gross triple. It's not sub 3. But definitely nothing I'm going to go and say, hey, dude, have you tried that Allagash? You've got to try that if you like triples.
Right.
Like we said before, if it's on tap somewhere, you're around somewhere you can get it. Like, I would probably get it again over, Budweiser, Michelob, stuff like that. But, if there are other triples I could get, La Fin du Monde being like my favorite one, the Golden Curlews triple. There's a couple out there that would definitely blow this one out of the water.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So, unfortunately, that's been kind of my experience with Allagash, and I don't know if it's kind of the old school and kind of new school has already come and kind of taken over, or what the feeling is, because these are high-rated beers. And
I mean, Allagash has such a rep with craft beer that, granted, I only had the 2, and I'm sure there's, they have
they
other
got like
ones
15 or 20, and they're
but the 2 I've had have been kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone raves about Allagash, and the best brewery in Maine, one of the best in the Northeast. But this is, I mean, it's a quality product
for sure.
But it's not, for me personally, just wasn't really what I prefer.
Yeah. So again, I'm just going to say I think maybe the torch has been passed.
Maybe that's a possibility.
They're great tasting beers. Again, 3 is a solid beer. I'm not saying 3 is terrible. Right. I mean, I would rate a Budweiser, me personally, a 1.5. I know we're talking early. Bud Light's one of your favorites, And that's why you gotta love beer, right? Palates are different.
Palates are very
You know,
different.
and I still hang out with you. You know, I don't punch you or anything
No.
like that for drinking, swill, but but you know, I don't know. So unfortunately,
It's
that's kind of where it is.
Yeah.
So
They're heavy, but I mean,
after 3 episodes of Allagash, I think I'm done. I'm definitely not going to order anymore. This is kind of where it's at.
I mean, I'll give them a couple more tries, get a couple of their different beers and just kind of see how it works. But right now, they're kind of, for me, they're a little iffy.
Yeah. So we're going to wrap it up. So we had the Allagash Dubbel, which again, similar to this one, was kind of middle of the road. We rated it kind of 3s across the board.
Yeah.
Nothing spectacular, a little light.
A little light, yeah.
And then we had the Curieux, which again, 3s kind of across the board.
3. Boozy, but it's drinkable.
All right, so I guess with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap the episode up. I'm Preston. This is Mike, the Beer Chasers. We'll see you later.
Beer is good, beer is good, beer is good. And stop, beer is good, beer is good, beer is good. Let's go drink some beer. Beer